E-S.
Wonderful. So what statement do you make with your line of clothing this year?
This year, we're thinking about protection. The sign behind me kind of says it all. I'll read it, if you don't mind. It's easy enough. As the world turns dark around us, the use of clothing as protection becomes more literal than ever. The use of clothing against strongmen, the elements, and each other. Protect yourself, arm yourself, and by Robert James was the theme of this collection. What that means is, from having to go out and protest and do things like this, from having social unrest and have to protect ourselves from each other, and as we've seen our own government turn a little bit more dark, we need clothing that, and the elements, as the environment has changed. I've put a lot of items in there with durable water resist, where I used to maybe we would have put wool in its place, but wool's getting soggy now when we're cold. It's not quite getting cold, so a lot of our winter events are wet instead of snow. So I've thought about that a little bit. So as I've kind of moved away from, I'm usually rock and roll and happy, it's kind of been my vibe. But I've always had a utilitarian feel to the collection, and this kind of is moving that way, and also with the element of protection. And slightly, my brand tagline is simple, honest, handsome.
So with a lot of your outfits, you have the mouths of your models covered. Is there a certain meaning or significance behind that?
Yeah, actually there's a big statement being made there. I've never felt like a statement that I would make would ever put me in jeopardy. I did a collaboration with a great artist, Brian Wheatley, who did a Trump tombstone, and we did t-shirts. And after that kind of happened, I started thinking, I might need to be more subversive in what we do. We might need to arm ourselves in a way that we might have to cover our identity in order to make the statements that we want. And that's the statement that I'm making here.
Anything else you'd like to say about your brand and your line this season?
I think that if people can understand it for piece by piece, for gorgeous outerwear, great new knitwear that's coming into the collection, that's one way to look at it. You could also look at it as a whole and as a statement. And I think if you can have that balance there and enjoy it for both, I think that's what I'm really trying to achieve. First and foremost, I'm a garment maker and a designer, and I love it. I'm also an artist and an American, and I wanted to make sure that I combine those elements.